Hi, welcome. Lipsense expert here. Okay, we're gonna do a basic application of Purple Rain. It's around New Year's and why not have the most awesome color? Remember, you start shaking your bottle as you make sure that your lips are clean and dry, nothing on your lips. I want you to make sure they're wiped with no food residue, no makeup residue, nothing. Clean and dry lips, and then you shake your bottle. The reason being that there's all these natural elements in there along with the alcohol that keeps everything clean, sanitized, mixed up. It's genius. So you want to mix that up. If you forget to mix it up one too many times, I feel like the consistency of the product gets uneven, and about halfway down your product gets goopy. So as long as you mix it up each time, then your Lipsense is going to last so much longer. Okay, then you're going to pull it out. And here's one of the biggest tips that no one else explains to you that's huge, okay? They say 3 layers, 3 thin layers. I want your layers to be so thin. I like to liken this Lipsense to nail polish. If you put on a super thick layer of nail polish and then you right away went over and did another super thick layer and then you did 3 layers, we all know if we've ever painted our nails with traditional nail polishes, it's never gonna dry. It doesn't look as good, it gets goopy, you get those sheet marks and fingernail marks. Okay, same thing with Lipsense. If you aren't doing super thin layers and 3 of them, then it's not gonna feel the same, it's not gonna wear the same, it's not gonna look as good. So the key to that is when you pull it out of the bottle, see how much goop is on, can you see that? Anyways, there's lots of extra lipstick that comes out with it. I want you to wipe it off on all the sides. You kind of get to know each of the colors as you wear them. They all have a little bit different consistency because of the natural elements in them. But by the time you wipe it all off, there's enough lipstick in the fuzz of the tiny little particles to do a layer on both the top and bottom of your lips. However, if you sit here and you're talking and you're waving it around, the alcohol is going to evaporate off and you're going to need to re-dip. So we're going to re-dip, we're going to wipe it, we're going to pull it back out, and we're going to wipe it all off, and then we're going to immediately go to the lips. It's going to be so thin that you're almost going to be able to see my lips through the color. I start in the corner, and if you can see, I put more pressure on the inner part of my lip than the outer part of my lip because I want to push down, hold on. Now, can you see how thin that is? This side's a little heavier, but just like nail polish, don't worry because we're gonna do 2 more layers and it's gonna perfect all of it. If you go back over and you try and like fix it up and make it all even, you're only gonna wipe it off. I do take the opportunity in the first layer to make sure that the lining of my lips is perfect. Okay? Then, if you feel like you need more, which you will be able to tell, if you're having to kind of scrape it on, stop. Stop while you're ahead, go back, get a little bit more product, go ahead and wipe it back off again, and continue. The key is I want you to be able to feel the fuzz of the applicator, not this cold, wet lipstick. If you're feeling lots of cold, wet lipstick, your layers are too thick. So remember, feel the fuzz, okay? Start in the corner. The reason I start in the corner is because I like to feel how much is on. If I have too much on, I can tell in the corner instead of starting in the middle of my lip and I have a big blob, I can be like, ooh, that feels like a little much. I'll go back, I'll wipe it back off and start over. Feel it. Nice and slow. You gotta think about it too, like watercolor. Get my line good. We are, in a sense, painting our lips. We're putting a topical on top of our lips. It's not going through into the blood. It doesn't break the blood barrier, so we never have to absorb this product. It stops on the skin of our lips and sits on top of it. So we want to make sure that we're going nice and slow and allowing it to kind of adhere to the lips. Okay, then we'll do 2 more layers. Now, because I have a little extra on this side, I'm not going to start in the same place every time. I'm going to start over here that needs a little more. You make a mistake, wipe it off right away. Okay. I flip my applicator over. Get the inside. All right, that's layer 2 on the top lip. In another video, we'll go over ombreing and how when you're putting your lipstick on, if you put less pressure where you want the most of your lipstick to land, that is how you're going to get more of a linered look. By pressing down on my lip on the inner here like this and gliding, it allows any excess that's going to pool up on the wand to hit the line of my lips. And the last layer. Notice how basically by the time I'm done with the bottom layer and talking to you, my lipstick is already dry and ready for the next coat. That really is how thin your layers should be. If you're having to wait an excessive amount of time in between layers, your layers are too thick. I could feel right there that that was too thick. I could feel too much lipstick. Get that waterline. Okay. Now because I could feel a little too much, I have to wait a little bit longer. And see how that side's kind of wetter? You can tell because it's shiny. I'm gonna wait for that to dry. If you happen to go to your gloss before your lipstick dries, it's still gonna stay, it's just not gonna stay as well. It's not gonna set as well. And usually you can tell if it's dry by the touch of your finger like this. And if I showed you, there would be a little bit because that area still is not dry. Because again, I put too much on. So that was a really good example to you to show you how everything else is dry except for the area that I put too much on. So wait for it to dry and then get your gloss. Now your gloss you can put on any old way. You just want to get it on there and make sure that your lips are sealed. And I'm using Orchid Gloss today. It has a thinner, smoother feel than the glossy gloss. And of course my lips are super healthy, so I don't need the extra moisture as when you first start Lipsense. Get it on and you're good to go. Now, some tips throughout the day. Lipsense guarantees 4 to 18 hours. And a lot of that is because we are all different. Some of us have a job where we talk all day long, so our lips are constantly smacking together. Well, anytime there's constant friction on anything in this world, you're gonna have something breaking down. So if you're someone that talks a lot and your lips are constantly smacking together, your lipstick is naturally gonna break down more. If you're a chef and you're eating all day, your lipstick's naturally gonna break down faster. If you have lips, now if you see from the side, my lips, just on their own when they close and they talk, they don't really naturally hit together. Lots and lots of women's do. They are like this kind of when they talk, especially when they talk. And so every time you're talking, your lips are naturally hitting together. Well, you're gonna be one of those people that is a 4-hour wearer, meaning that your lipstick is still going nowhere. But what you're gonna notice is that it is gonna break down after about 4 hours. And that's okay because you're still not getting it all over your food, smudging everywhere. You still have lipstick that lasts amazingly and you can count on it. You're just somebody that's gonna wanna carry around your remover and your lipstick in your bag and reapply. Now, the ways to, of course, make it last longer is re-glossing. If you gloss while you're talking, like if you're going in for a presentation or you know you're gonna be on a long phone call or up doing a presentation, then gloss before you eat. That creates a barrier and allows things smooth gliding instead of friction, right? The other things are wearing your gloss at night. The healthier your lips are, the better your lipstick's gonna stay. In the beginning, we know we go through that exfoliation process and that's okay. And once we get past that, our lips are healthy and our lipstick stays longer and longer and longer. Lipsense is a commitment and the best commitment you're gonna make. So that's all for today. This is Purple Rain with Orchid Gloss and I hope that helps everyone. See you next time.